What's up guys, Kuro here. So there's a lot of people asking me for the Youga2 Swamp build. This time I share you guys the build. This build is mostly in the mid game, close to Endgame. And like let me reset the map and then do the training dummy. He is like around 2-3 seconds. We reach the maximum cap when our hero trial, not hero trial, yeah, the hero trial space time translation is not max yet. When it's max, it's like close, yeah, also 2 seconds around there. Yeah. Mostly I use Eternity, or you can get a better one like a T0 Affection and then T2 Rip. Here Energy Shield, active skill level, or you'll see skill level, but I don't really use crafting amulet. Mostly I just use Eternity. I double corrode these, but I can't get the Terra charge recovery speed corroded and the max Terra quality. If I get it, I can change into the Imperial Might, but I didn't get it. So for this one, corrupted marrow is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and the 5th mock effects corrupted. When you have these Terra charge corrupted, our Terra charge recovery speed will become normal. Then you don't really need this nightly chest. We need the nightly chest is because of the restoration speed. Like every time when you drop down a Shadow Swamp, this is how fast it restores it back to max. And then if for the nightly armor, I would just suggest try to get the EOC resistant so that you can release some stress from the crafting gear. For the Terra charge, you just need 200%. This like 200% and above, don't need 300. 200% and above is enough, and then try to get the high EOC resistance. I don't go for max main skill level and max Terra quality because right now we use the mid build. It's like Shadow Storm is still in the main skill, our main skill here. Later when I change when we are using the peaceful round with the order buff, I will change the Blurry step to the top. Right now is like because I don't want the Blurry step buff to be removed whenever you cast your Shadow Swamp. So for the talent tree is we are using the Wing Wall and then Poison Relief. Here is mostly it's like damage and then skill duration, energy shield, charge speed. All these. When I level, like here is 32 points. So at the beginning, I don't level these two up. I level up the rest and I didn't get the charge speed. Try to get 20 point here and then another is it 20 or 24 point? I think it's 24 point. 24 point here and then this I can't remember how many points is it. Oh yeah, 32 points, sorry. Here is a 24 here and then 32. So if you are leveling, when you have 32 core talent point, you can just respect the goddess of dissection and go get the read. When you have this rip, you will find that you have start doing damage. Then the affection. After that, like here, get 32 point. After that, put the rest of your point into the Goddess of Distraction to 24. And for Magister is mostly for mid game. You can change to this. Some player they go for Shadow Master or Warlock. Why use Warlock is because of the pre-looted and the stat in the back. So stat in the back, I got it on the preview of the god. And then pre-looted is the when you're using a non-main skill, it will give you 30% damage to your main skill. Stat in the back is also when you use your blur. When you lose your blur, you will increase 50% addition damage to the main skill. That time is I use Warlock first, and then I change my spec into Magister, or you can just, if you really need survive, just straight away go Magister, because here have a lot of energy shield regain. And this season SS4 we don't really rely on a lot on skill area, so I only have one area that get the skill area. The rest is all like increase our defense. And then the minor suited mana, we don't really need that much in SS4, so here I drop it. But at the early stage, you really lack of minor suited mana, you need to get it. So this one is help for the survive, and like we use the shell. And then to add more energy shield and barrier of radiance for survive. And then to the Divinity Slate here, I use stat in the back. Try to get stat in the back, and then 4% or 8% skill effect duration. Skill effect duration increase our damage over time. So for all these normal Divinity Slate, I would suggest go get persistent skill level, skill effect duration, 4% or 8%, and then the rest is depend on your branding. And for this build, I'm not using any curse, so this paralyze, I didn't get this damage buff. But some player they use curse. I'm not using any curse, so this one is really depend. So all this is like, as long as it's a skill effect duration, max energy shield or energy shield regain, we can use it. Like one of the best is like if you can get the additional dot damage when you have the order, or the other one is getting movement speed. This depend. I have a better one, but the better one is at the Gamma 2. And this is the set for mid. Like getting very close to endgame, your damage is really close. With this build, I already can clear almost everything in game other than this Trial of Divinity, because I don't really find that it's too hard to survive the damage over time when we are going energy shield build. I need a very high cooldown for the force start. And then the next one is the skilling. For when we are using the stat in the back, core talent, my skilling is like the main skill will be Shadow Swamp, so that we can when we use our blur, it will increase 50% additional damage to Shadow Swamp. And then Shadow Shot, we need the activation medium track. With always lock on to enemy, 0.2 second to 0.5 second is very expensive. So to get a cheap one, you don't need this always lock on, but you need around 0.2 to 0.4 second. And then under this one, we need to change into my control, and then get the lock on. is I show you guys the search under here, because lock on is so much cheaper, and like these cost 2, like you can just buy them. And then this lock on we have to search for like 70 meter to 20 meter, and then here is like 0.4 seconds to 0.2, and then search for it. Some people they sell it cheap, like remove lock on when the support skill deal damage. Wherever you hit the enemy, the lock on will be gone. That's why we need the mic control linked up with a lock on, so that this will always works. And this is like 0.3 second. I bought mine is the one with always lock on. 0.4 second is 1000 plus. So this is like 600, and it's like it's 0.3 second. Do we really need 0.2 seconds? It really depends. Like it's very expensive. 0.2 second without the always lock on is really expensive. So if you want, can just go for like 0.3 second. People sell it cheap, like 480. Like, I think 400, 399. This is like 17 meter. So you can like maybe 19, 510, 4845. Like this one is not bad already, like 0.3. I buy one and show you guys. Here can just change to the other one, and then here go use the lock on. Like you hit the just that it's not it's just okay. It's not really that good compared to the one with always lock on, because the lock on will get removed when the shadow shot hit the target. So that is the difference. So you will lose a bit damage, but it helps because it's cheap. And like why I suggest you to use my control, because my control always hit the target. Like for example, I stand very far, like here, and it can pass through wall, or the enemy downs you. I think maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember if it can get past the dome shield. So every time, as long as your mic control is linked to the enemy, you will always lock on to the target. So for farming, it will be much better. This is like because this is a single target. And why we have to use mic control, Frost Terra, Black Hole, or Corrosive Shot. Black Hole, you need a very high cooldown. So if you doesn't have a very high cooldown, just don't use Black Hole. Corrosive Shot, Frost Terra, or mic control is because of there's a bug on Shadow Swamp. Like under Shadow Swamp here, when our ripping cooldown recovery speed is too high, because we read too fast, our Shadow Swamp will not build up any affection. Sometimes it doesn't build up, or it build up very slow. Like you can see, it build up very slow. Let me change back to the one that I used, this one. So it build up very slowly. But if I use a skill like my control linked with the affection, you can see how fast the my control stack up the affection. My control is the faster skill to stack affection. Why we need to get stack affection to 100 very fast, so that our incoming damage, damage over time skill is a skill that you need to get affection stack to 100 and then you deal a lot of damage to the enemy. That's why all our equipment here is like increase the affection effect, so that we deal the affection very much more faster. And then like my control, Frost Terra. I like to use Frost Terra because Frost Terra can bypass the dome shield from the enemy, or it can go through wall. And I using another activation medium. This is like 1.4 second. I use it for Little Fresh, Corrosive Shot, but after I don't really find that it's very good to use, so I remove this activation medium and use it on the Youga2 Shadow Swamp. You can even use a cheapest one is using the activation medium instruction with a 2 second. I think they sell a 1 second one, but I'm not sure how expensive it is. Like 2 second will be a bit slow, but Frost Terra stack affection is also very fast. After when you stack it up, you will try to read is all maximum 500 billion per hit. This one change to this. And then for the Blurry step, let's try to get 4 second prepare. Here don't get any negative, because right under here the Blurry step is a 4 second cooldown. And also remember, we are using stack in the back called talent buff, so every time when you want to drop down your Shadow Swamp, you must have a blur, so that you will get 50% additional damage added into Shadow Swamp. Another one is like you also have to drop it down when it's a max stack, max of your stack, Terra charge stack, to deal a higher damage. And then like Frostart, Iron to get some armor, and then uplifting. This is cheap. Just get the one with the cooldown recovery speed. Cooldown recovery is much better than the duration for Frostart. And then try to get it at like 90%, but it's really depend how expensive it is. Some of them is cheap, some of them is expensive. So, or you can, the most cheap one is having activation medium elite one with a high cooldown, and then when you're close to the enemy, then you start to use the force start. If not, if it's 20 meter, your force start you always use. Even you are before you get hit, you already use up the force start. And then for the aura, it's like the precise erosive enhancement. I didn't get a level 21. I don't find that it's needed. I only get the precise energy fortress for the 21. And then precise stealth for armor. And then precise deep pain. This, because we only have 100 life because of the core talent shell, so we only can use 2 aura buff to boost it up. So this deep pain is not really increase a lot of damage, but deep pain is a must to have. For the precise stealth fast, you can even change to precise ice inbud if you want to have a more speed run. Like because the explosion on this skill is much more better. Like this one, because we are not doing curse. If you have curse, you can try link it to this precise ice inbud. Like it will, the explosion from the skill can kill the enemy. It can increase the damage. But if you, because I'm not using any curse, so I will just use the ripping agony. This increase the additional damage for the support skill, and then this one increase the buff effect. So just that these two need to get precise one. This is for farming map or mostly God of Machine farm. When I run God of Machine, I like to use the precise ice invert. If not, I always just use the precise stealth. Some people even use the precise shiftness, but it really depends. And then for the candle, it's like max Terra quality, at least one movement to damage. Like right here, Terra quality. And then the other one is the movement. Try to get at least one. I haven't fused it up yet. This is like so hard to fuse. Because right now if you go buy them, they are freaking expensive. Most of them I just fuse them together. So if you want to buy cheap one, then the movers like this one reduce our skill area. This one sucks. So even if we sell cheap, just don't use it. The negative effect, you have to be careful. That's why I rather go fuse it myself. Also another thing is, if you look at my guide on YouTube, I have one guide for the how to fuse the candle fusing. I fused this candle successfully, and that time is when I was live streaming it. Max Terra quality and the Terra chart stack. So like at least one of your candle, the one with max Terra quality and the movement speed buff, this help us to speed up the run in mapping. And this is for the skill and the candle. And then now is the equipment. I think just now I say about the corrupted marrow, max Terra quality and nightly armor. I suggest get the EOC resistant. Terra charge restoration speed 200% and above. And then eternity. So for eternity, this eternity buff simulator, right? This increase our skill duration. Skill duration increase our damage for the damage over time. And then increase the skill cooldown recovery speed. So this I always go for 18% and above. The defense one is still fine. And then this one also, I also go for 18%. But that time I bought this as an uncorrupted one. I go corrupted and it failed. So what to do? If you want to buy here, it's 18%. Right here, 18%. This one is also 18%. 999 is still cheap. Like this one we don't need. Like this is still fine. This increase damage increase our damage over time. But this one, critical strike rating and critical strike damage do nothing for damage over time. So my roll on this is too high. Maybe I can sell it, but I'm not sure how much I can sell. It's like I need the 18% on the shadow, eternity shadow and eternity simulator. And this is like 40% on the eternity morale. So I think it's not really that expensive. Really depend. And this one is 18. Then 18. It's at 999. Like this that's one is a 42%. This is a not bad one, like 20% is much better than what I have. And then for the glove, right? I'm lazy to craft anymore. So this neither alienation enemy under 8% life or 12% life, depends is T1 or T0, or spell skill level, only can choose one. Neither spell skill level +2 or alienate enemy under 8% life or 12% life. I got one more craft, but my alienate enemy was eaten by another energy shield, so it was gone. Then I just say forget it, I just use this. And then the rip is like T2 and above. and then get some resistance. For the belt is like skill effect duration is a must, and then defense really depend, and then the additional damage taken at low mana -10. That this T1 is enough already, because this for the belt your main goal is getting T0 on skill effect duration and the element resistance, and then the affection and the reap is just depend. As long as the affection is T1 and above, it's fine. The reap is at T2. Either you go craft it or you go buy it in the trade, but right now I'm not really sure how much it sell. Yeah, now it's like too expensive, so you have to go craft it yourself. For the shoe is like the most one is the movement speed and aura effect, and then here just get energy shoe. If you want, you can get the deflection. Before I change the shoe by one of the viewer, he passed me his crafting shoe because he can't sell it. Oh, I think it's on another hero, right? Yeah, it's on another hero. You can even use Ferminer Step, but you need to have a +8% gripping cooldown recovery speed. You can use this as your main, just that you will be lose some of the energy shoe. This can be used, but you need 7% or 8% ripping cooldown recovery speed. You can even use Torchlight Vestment, not really, because Nightling armor is still so much better. So for the shoe is like energy shoe and then deflection. I will make one on the max roll guide, but I think my pro build here I have one. Is it this one? Yeah. This deflection, for every 6-meter move, gain 1 stack of deflection. With the deflection under the energy shield here, we can get this recuration, so that we don't lose the buff from the deflection. Right now, because I changed my shoe, my energy shield, I'm using the uplifting. It increased the defense effect. For start defense effect is energy shield charge. It charge more faster. And yeah, that's it. And then for the ring is you can see my prefix sucks. Both ring the prefix just sucks. And this I haven't even go enchant yet. Like the main mock effect is the suffix. Ripping cooldown recovery speed need a T0. Affection need a T0. Element resistance also need a T0. So this 3 is the main. So I don't really care about the top. The top is if you have a T2 and above, max energy shield, spell damage is also fine, or erosive damage. And then this one is also the same, just that this one just sucks, and I get a 25 erosive resistance here. If not, I will lack of resistance for the erosive resistance. If your knightly armor here you get corroded erosive resistance, then maybe you don't need this ring with dream taking with erosive resistance. And for the weapon, the best is like get armor damage penetrate, and then +3 spell skill level, +2 hero skill level. Max Terra charge is the main important thing, and then affection, and then reap. We like I say, reap we just need it. We don't need to care what tier it is. And the other one is erosive skill level. I think this one is a spell skill level. The bottom is always the same. The top is also roughly the same. This one have an aura effect. Before I changed my weapon, I was using the other one. Like, this is not a very good one because the affection is only T1. And then the spell skill level is also T1. The other one is also the same. But the most important thing is max Terra charge stack. And then affection, reap, and then spell skill level. But neither you craft it or you go to the trade house and buy them. Right now it should be a bit cheaper. Right here can remove. And then spell skill level, affection and reap. It's like 400. To 500. Now should be a bit cheap, but I got this weapon from one of the viewer. Because he said that his crafting worm can't sell, so he passed it to me. That's why I upgrade. If not, I will keep using these two weapons that I have it. And that basically it for the equipment. And still got what? Oh, Hero Trial. So for the Hero Trial, the Hero Relic, 6% additional reaping cooldown recovery speed. So under the detail, 6% is much better. And then every point of tempora energy gain additional 2% damage over time. This mod effect is very freaking expensive, so if you can just focus on the 6% additional reaping cooldown, get the 6% first, and then the second mod effects, see how much flame addy you have. You can either just buy the cheap one first, after that at the back, then you go in for these mod effects. After I changed to this, the damage increases a lot when I have these mod effects, because these our tempora energy will give us additional damage over time. And then another one is the Hero Trial support skill slot. We just use increase the area of the Hero Trial, the space-time turbulence. And then another one more important thing for the hero memory is we need at least one. So it doesn't matter what percentage it is, but we need one at how many percent of the reaping and reap purification damage dealt to enemy to twisted space-time record damage. We need at least one of these mod effects. And the rest is like, for me, I just like to get movement speed to run fast. Here is mostly is reaping or reaping cooldown. Is that I have two of these. I can get even more damage by having this one, but I just like to get movement speed. When you have enough damage, you can change the space-time cutting into the speed up, space-time speed up. But and another one is like the space-time outhaven. This, when we change from this one to this one, this doesn't give us endgame damage a lot. When do we change space-time pause to space-time outhaven is when our max energy shield reached around 9k or 8k, around 8000 energy shield or 9000 energy shield. We can change our Hero Trial space-time pause to space-time outhaven, because the more energy shield we have, the more damage we have for this. Like the maximum energy shield will become the space-time energy, and then space-time energy become damage over time. So with the max energy shield, the more you have, even this also increase the damage. And when do we change the space-time cutting? It really depends. Do you have the legendary hero memory? Because I don't want to get this minus additional damage, so I rather go get a movement speed because I already have enough damage. So if you want to equip this, and then the hero trial, you have to select the space-time cutting. This is for energy restore. You can use the space-time, the secret of time, restore 15 space-time energy, but some players find that there's a bug, sometimes it doesn't regen our hero trial energy. It's a buggy, this item, for this SS4 season, so I just don't use them. I rather just get a 20% movement speed, but that's for me. Because I already have enough damage, so I don't need spaceline cutting, I just get the speed up. So I don't even need the legendary heal memory at all. But it's already enough damage. And then after the heal trial, and then this one I also say about it. Still got what? Did I miss anything? If I miss out anything, just comment down below. I will try my best to reply. And this is one of the build that I use it around mid to end game. Is having stack in the back as the core talent, and then the rest is all normal divinity. So when you farm even more, you can think of getting the spark, the old spark. This is the old spark, this is a new spark. The spark that increase our copy the last talent of the nearby slate. So I remove all these. This is more of the end game, and how I put it is go find a peaceful round and then get a cooldown. It's a skill effect duration, max energy shield or energy shield regain, but it really depends how much it sell. I got mine at 600. And then we get the dot damage here. This one is spell damage. I get 2 spell, 2 dot damage. But this one really depends. You can get all spell or get all dot damage. And then here add the spark to the middle slate. Here we need to minus 80% additional order decrease speed to reduce the order decrease, because we need the order to stay at 99. This one I put it here. So by right I should get another spark. I should get another. Oh, I haven't added this spark yet. By right I should get another spark here, and then this one is the last god tier with the damage over time, but it's like 5. No, it's like 900 to 1000 plus. So I don't really want to change that. That's why here I add the additional damage over time. And then here is like all drop gone, right? So I just reset the map to refresh it. And then drop down. So it's like much faster. It's much more faster than using step in the back. So when I change to this, like if I use my main skill, my buff from Blurry step will be gone. So to make the Blurry step always stay 100% on, we need to change Blurry step to main skill. So this one is Shadow Swamp, and then no, don't need that. This one is the faction, the damage over time. Erosive Pen. If you are playing Shadow Swamp early stage, the Erosive Pen you can use the Reaping Agony, because we lack of Reap at the very beginning, like the early stage. When you have enough Reap from the amulet, belt, glove, and the both weapon, then you can start to change to Erosive Penetrate. So we need to move the Blurry step to our main skill. That's why I don't suggest you to get this +2 main skill level. No point, because this is counted as main skill. And then the Blurry step is prepare. Where's my prepare? This one. Here is the Maniac. And then extend duration. Well forged. So when I change it, I drop down my... Okay, let me change this one before the buff. So I drop down my Shadow Swamp. It will not remove my Blurry step. So when you have enough skill duration, skill effect duration, your Blurry step you have to go change. If you're not enough, you can use the pain amplification to increase the duration. You increase the duration. So this one you have to go test it up yourself. But I like to use the well forged because this increase the effect. I only just need movement speed. As long as it's 100% uptime, then it's fine. And then like, yeah, this is the thing to change. So if you are looking at the link from the peaceful round one, you have to change the Shadow Swamp from the main skill. Change the Shadow Swamp with the Blurry step. That's the only thing that is different from my build. The Endgame, the Blurry step, and the mid game, the Shadow Swamp. These two is different. The rest is all the same. Like one is the stack in the back. The second one is having the peaceful round with all the order buff. Order buff give a lot of damage, but this spark is around 8,000 to 9,000. Like you can see how many copy it have. All this is multiply, and then when they are near to each other, they are multiply again. So this increase a lot. And think that is basically it. Oh yeah, there's one more thing about Shadow Swamp. In SS4 season, why Shadow Swamp is strong? Like under the description here, it had been removed. He used to say that Shadow Swamp is a skill that only have 1 Terra quality and 1 Terra charge. But in SS4 season, there's a bug. Is when you add max Terra quality and max Terra charge, it increases the damage for Shadow Swamp. That is the bug. That's why for Youga2 Shadow Swamp build, we use less resource, we get a lot of damage by just stacking out max Terra quality and max Terra charge. So with that, it's like the damage is freaking crazy. And also another thing about Shadow Swamp is Shadow Shot will always, when the Shadow Shot hit the target, it will always move the Shadow Swamp to the target and refresh the duration. So for example, I drop my Shadow Swamp here. So it will, when the Shadow Shot hit the target, it will move the Shadow Swamp to this target, and then it always refresh the duration. So sometimes when you are running map, you'll find that why you have no damage. Neither the enemy is killed by the space-time turbulence, or your duration for your Shadow Swamp have been gone. That's why your Shadow Shot, before it hit the enemy, it get killed by the kill trial. And that is, sometimes you find that when you're running map, why you have no damage. And if you want to self-cast, you can self-cast this skill. Self-cast, the second will be around 0.7 or 0.6. But for mapping, when you are self-casting, it's not really recommend, because you always have to run, self-cast, run, self-cast, run and self-cast. So if you want to try him as a second hero or third hero, try to get the activation medium track neither you can use the cheap one, having the trap without the lock on, and then use mind control and get a lock on it. Like this, the cheapest. This I only cost like less than 500 flame eddy. Is around 450 to 500. But you need to channel your mind control so that it always lock on to the target. This is the cheapest way to deal damage. To use a shadow shot, auto trigger the shadow shot. And I think that is all the thing that it is for the Youga2 Shadow Swamp. If you want to try on TR1, TR1 will be totally different. You have to go look for other build. All this is for Youga2 Shadow Swamp build. So remember the hero that you play. But Shadow Swamp is just stack Terra quality and Terra charge. You already have a bunch of damage. And I think that's everything. I don't think I miss out anything. If I miss out anything, just comment down below. I try my best to reply. And if you guys find the guide is useful, give me some like and subscribe the channel. And thank you guys for watching. See ya. Bye bye.